Hello, everyone. I just wanted to give you an update on Miss Shanquella Robinson, who passed away of femicide. Now, Mexico is stating that she passed away from femicide, and there was an exclusive interview that was given on Good Morning America. Uh, and the family, the sister and the mother and the father, but the family is aware that she did not pass away from alcohol poisoning, as I'm going to say, alleged, or I'm going to say suspects or person of interest, or the women or the people that participated in unaliving this young, beautiful woman of 25 years of age. They participated in this. There's videos out there, that have been trending, floating around on the internet. So I will not show any other videos, and I'm sure you've seen them, or you can go ahead and find them. ABC News, TMZ, Yahoo, they're all out here, so you can find the video. So I will not put her video up. However, the family has contacted the FBI, and the FBI has opened a probe into Robinson's death, which is also being investigated by the Attorney General's Office of Baja California Sur as a femicide, a form of gender-based violence. Now, I want to say this, that over in Mexico, there has been at least 386 femicides in Mexico alone. And they staged a protest, the women, and where they did not go to work, they did not work from home, they did not do any domesticated household chores. They took to the streets and they protested because they want an end to the killings of women over in Mexico, because it is a problem with violence on women, and nothing has changed since then, but they want their voices to be heard. And so this may be where they knew that this was going on, and probably nothing will be done about it. The people that lured her over to San Cabo Lucas, Mexico, Cabo. So I believe it was a setup. In my opinion, they set her up, they lured her over there to have her to unalive her, to murder her. I do believe that happened, to attack her. And so I understand just from reading the different articles that she was actually had taken a shower. She was coming out of the shower. So of course, if you're going to be in the shower, most of us are not going to have on any coverings. And so she was lured, coming out of the shower, and she was attacked. And now it's saying that she was attacked by two different women, not just one that we've seen in the video, but two different women. And I want to say this because I did a video on friendships, on friend or foe. And we just have to be very careful who we hang out with, who we're friends with, who we travel with. And although this young woman, her legacy, is that she was a very kind, sweet young woman, a go-getter, a woman that was very successful in her braiding business. Now, I look at this young woman, and she is beautiful, and I have many, many nieces, many, many females in my family. Now, I particularly don't have a daughter, but my heart still goes out to anyone that has female children or a daughter, because we have to protect our daughters as well as our young men. And I know there's been a lot of talk about the injustice of men, which still has not decreased. We still have that going on, wrongful convictions and things like that. But in this young woman's case, we are seeing a lot of young women in particular, being murdered at the hands of friends, so-called friends, men, exes, domestic violence. We are seeing this at a higher rate, and it's our own color, people of color. And so I'm saddened when I read this story. It would sadden me to hear another black woman being murdered at the hands of so-called friends. Someone that is successful, that is doing well, that is growing, that God is blessing, that that is being a hope of light for other young women to be an example and to be murdered at the hands of some envious, jealous friends is really disheartening. And where do we go with this? How do we teach young women that they can be successful also, that they can level up themselves and they don't have to be jealous of their friends? They don't have to be jealous of other female counterparts. They don't have to be angry that maybe their success hasn't reached a level that maybe their friend or so-called friend's success has reached. Because in God's time, we're all capable, I believe, of success in some kind of way. God has given all of us a gift, and we have to recognize that gift within ourselves and pray and have self-actualization. Also know our worth, our personal worth, and value, of ourselves. And so it doesn't appear that these women had anything else on their mind but to harm someone. It's like to remove the threat. So if you're no longer a threat, then they feel they can be successful. And it's really sad because their focus was only on this young woman to harm her. And when you look at fake friends, when you look at someone that's really not your friend, that's pretending to be your friend, there are a lot of things that fake friends will do to harm you. They will go to the extreme by any means necessary to take you out, to remove the threat. And so in this case, it appears that they removed the threat, Miss Shanquella Robinson, and this is no disrespect to her, but they went through great lengths to remove the threat because they felt inadequate. They felt beneath her. They felt that they could not make it in society or could not be successful on their own or in their own right, so they removed the threat. And when they removed the threat, it was a human being. It was a human being that her family and even society cannot get back. Her family will never be able to get her back. And so it's really disheartening to continue to see our own people of color killing one another. We have got to continue to bring these stories and to speak out about these violent, unnecessary killings that are happening within our society, within our communities. And whether it happened in your community specifically or another community, it still happened. And we should be outraged at what continues to happen with our people. And for these women and the people that participated, may God have mercy on you when you are caught and prosecuted. And may you be prosecuted. Let me say that again. May you be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. This is unnecessary. It was uncalled for. It is despicable. It is shameful. And for the young man in the video that was saying, at least get up and fight back, at least you could have stopped recording and went to help her. Allegedly so-called her friend. You could have gotten up and gotten away from that recording, more than likely on your cell phone, if it was a cell phone or a tablet, but whatever you used, you could have stopped and went to help her. You failed to do so. Then you have the other women cheering it on, putting a battery in this other woman's back, which her motives was already clear that she was going to harm Miss Shanquella. And then the alleged other friend that participated in. Now, you all can hide, you can change the locks on your door, you can move to different addresses, shut down your social media, turn off your cell phones, or get new cell phone numbers, but you will be caught. Believe me, you're going to be caught. The FBI, they are going to make sure that they catch you. And if there is a private investigator that's hired, they're going to make sure with the work that they do, because that is what they do. That's probably their livelihood, their lifeline, and they are going to make sure that you are brought to justice with the help of other people that have been reporting on this news. And I saw on another channel a GoFundMe. And so there's a GoFundMe for Miss Shanquella Robinson to help and assist, I'm pretty sure, with the cost of the expenses that incur regarding bringing her body back, which they did get back, and it cost them $6,000. And then the legal fees, the investigation of hiring a private investigator, and just, maybe even the family having to go through some type of therapy, because this is a shock. It's, and it's traumatizing to lose a child, but to lose a child at the hands of people that they thought were her friends and that she probably, thought were her friends. And so I want to say that with that being said, we have ever got to be so careful of who we travel with, who we hang out with, whether we are participating in activities within our own community, or we go to a different city or different municipality to hang out. Anybody can start to treat you kind of bad. There's also red flags. One of them out of the group or two are sitting there looking at you up and down, making negative comments, throwing subliminals, angry, maybe even was upset that they couldn't afford certain things that she could afford. Maybe they wanted her to pay for things that she did not pay for. They were envious of the fact that she had a following of customers. It's a lot. I mean, we can come up with different questions, and we should not leave any stone or questions unturned, and what may have occurred to drive them to harm this young woman in a manner that led to a fatality. And so there is a lot to be said about this. And so it's so sad that this happened on October 28th, and for the family, and for the family to be contacted and told some clear, flat out lies. They were told that she wasn't feeling well, and she passed away of alcohol poisoning. That's really a sad situation. These people have got to be evil, wicked, demonic people to actually go to great lengths, to harm this young lady or even anyone. And we're seeing so much of this happening, of people, going to great lengths to take someone else's life away from them. And so with the so-called friends, they were not any friends. They were fake friends. They were a foe. They were frenemies. Friends that are supposed to be your real friends, but they really are your enemies. So another term that was really popular, some time ago was frenemies. And so this is what we see is some frenemies that, knew she was deceased before they left Cabo, Mexico. Before she left, they knew she had passed away. They got hacked. They got up out of there and came back to the States. And every story that was told to the family was a different story. It was a different story, and it did not line up with the other stories that were being told to the family, the mother, the sister, maybe the sister, the father, but to the mother, we know for sure these stories were different stories. And so what happened, and just to give you a recap, her death is listed as a severe spinal cord injury and atlas, A-T-L-A-S, luxation, L-U-X-A-T-I-O-N, with no mention of alcohol. The document also states the approximate time between injury and death was 15 minutes, while a box asking whether the death was accidental or violent was ticked, marked yes. So there was a box on the form, and it was marked whether the death was accidental or violent. Well, it was marked yes, because it was not. We assure or assume that it was not an accidental death. It was a violent death. It was intentional. It was deliberate. And so she was found unconscious, which this document was dated November 4th, in the living room of a residence on Padre Quino Avenue in San Jose del Cabo on the afternoon of October 29th, is what it's saying. And so I stand corrected if I said Cabo San Lucas. I apologize for that. But what they're saying in this particular article, because I did hear that it was Cabo San Lucas, but now it's San Jose del Cabo on the afternoon of October 29th. So Robinson's mother told GMA that her daughter's friends came to her house before the autopsy report came out. So they were trying to cover themselves. And GMA is Good Morning America for short. But they were trying, to cover themselves. So they They got there back into the States, over here in the United States. They got back in time to try to reach the family to hurry up and cover themselves. And she said each friend came back, like I said, and told something different. She never believed their stories, is what the mother is saying. And sometimes you can feel people's energy. Sometimes you know that in your spirit, a spiritual discernment, that some folks is lying. You know what I'm saying? You just get that feeling that they're lying. I mean, I've even got that feeling of people around me, or at work, or on YouTube, and you go to their channel and you just know they are liars and you stay away. And I'm sure most of you can understand that feeling. That's that feeling of discernment. That they're not being truthful, that they're fake, they're not real. And so the mother got that feeling, and good for her that she got that feeling. And she said, I never believed their stories. She knew something was amiss because she had spoken to her daughter earlier, but she still knew something was amiss. And when you get different stories being told, you can't, you's like, you know what? I want the truth. I want to get to the bottom of this because I've been told different stories. Stories are just not lining up. And that's where you have to get to the bottom of it. And sometimes it takes help outside help to get to the bottom of what transpired with situations, and in this case a fatality, right? And so in recent days, there was a video. It hasn't been verified by ABC News that came out as well, but it's, like I said, been surfacing online, purportedly showing a woman attacking Shanquella Robinson. Now, that video was leaked, and yesterday I spoke with someone. We were talking about it because they were talking about it, I believe. There was a conversation, and we talked about it over the phone, and I said, well, you know what? And I'm saying this, that someone was in that party that leaked that video. Somebody with some type of conscience, not a strong conscience, but enough to leak the video, in my opinion, because that video would not have been leaked, but somebody did it. Whether it was where they were staying did it, or either the people that was recording did it, because it doesn't say at this point, where the video was, was unclear. Where the video was taken exactly, or who had the video, whether it was the place they were staying in the villa, or was it someone in the party that traveled with them that took this video and leaked it. Somebody wanted to know that this happened. Someone wanted to know, and maybe they are afraid if someone in the party leaked it, and they're afraid that they may be retaliated against, and so maybe they feel like they have to go along with it. They can't be themselves. They may feel threatened, or that they are going to lose friendship, but you need to walk away. If you are the one that leaked this video, you need to walk away, and you need to go to the authorities, and you need to ask for some type of protection. If you are the one that was part of this group that went over to Cabo, went over there, you need to go to the authorities, because this is not right. And if we don't encourage people to speak up when there are senseless deaths and murders like this, then we really aren't doing our part to help others make better decisions in life, others to live in a more excellent manner. And so in the video, someone, like I said, can be heard asking if Shanquella Robinson could at least fight back. That is so shameful of this person. Instead of you helping her and saying, look, stop, you all, break it up, stop, you refuse to, and you're steady recording. And what people don't understand is you can run, but there is no hiding place, because eventually you are going to be held accountable and found complicit in this young woman's death. And that's what people don't understand. And there was a man that came out, which I saw the video on Instagram, trying to speak his piece and explain, his part of it. He came out and said that he didn't get there till the next day, and that he wanted to celebrate his birthday, and he felt that there was a lot more activities that he didn't get to do with Shanquella, and he was rubbing her head and all this other stuff. This is really lack of intelligence, nonsense, and just so atrocious. And so and they left her over there. But the itinerary can find out when they arrived, right? Because the mother saying, I did not believe them, because actually before they even got back to Charlotte, I don't know when they arrived, but someone had already called us and said that someone was fighting her over there. Salamandra Robinson said. So someone that they don't identify in this particular phone call that was made to uh, the family, because she said called us, already called us. So someone had already called, notified the family, but they don't mention who it was. And that might have been the same person that leaked the video. We don't know. That's alleged, so I don't want to put false information out there. But according to this article, they contacted the family and told them someone was fighting her over there. And by the time that we questioned each one of them, and each one of them gave us a different statement, according to the mother, Miss Salamandra. Now, the people that she was with, I knew one of them very well, and I thought that he was her friend and he would look out for her, she added. But unfortunately, that's not what it was. Now, Quilla Long, Shanquella Robinson's older sister, said she was in disbelief and fell to her knees when she heard the news of her sister. She said the video is sickening. And Bernard Robinson, who is Shanquella's father, said he wishes he could speak to his daughter and hug her one last time. That is devastating, devastating, devastating. And so the U.S. State Department confirmed in an email to ABC News that the death of an American citizen occurred in Mexico, and that when a U.S. citizen dies abroad, the department provides all appropriate consular assistance to the family and refers to Mexican authorities on anything regarding the investigation. Meanwhile, the state attorney general's office of Baja California, sir, said its investigation into Robinson's death is ongoing. And that right there is good news, because we don't want it to happen in another country and this young woman and her family does not get the justice that they so deserve. She deserves justice, and so does the family, for a loss of a loved one. And so I pray that they will continue participating in the ongoing investigation, that they will continually, work together with the FBI, that has opened up a probe to make sure that they get the answers to bring these people, the perpetrators, to justice. They need to, they need to be prosecuted. Because this is a senseless murder. And when right is right and wrong is wrong, we need to stand on right and stand on, and when it's wrong, stand on wrong. That's how we should. And people should not, be in their feelings about, oh, they're promoting that these young people or people, we don't know all of their ages, go, get prosecuted. They should get prosecuted, because wrong is wrong and right is right. And the family deserves justice, and so does Miss Shanquella Robinson. And so Miss Salamandra Robinson said she won't stop, until they get answers, and that she remembers her daughter as an intelligent, ambitious woman with a loving heart. Ambitious. And so obviously she was pursuing her dream, or her, whatever it was that she was good at, which was braiding. She was an entrepreneur, and we have lost someone that was making good contributions to society, and they were doing what they felt was right, in their life. And so she goes on to say that Shanquella was a wonderful daughter, loving daughter, and we really gonna miss her, she said. Exactly positive. That's exactly who she was. She was a positive young woman that they will definitely miss, because of them being her daughter. And the fact is that she, was doing things, and they probably raised her well. And they sound like some decent people that raised her well, encouraged her, promoted her. She had, looks like, a good level of self-esteem, self-confidence about herself. She also, just looking at her different pictures, took care of herself. She was a beautiful young woman that was taken too soon from her family. And now, her going over there was supposed to be a getaway, a party, and of course, when they show videos of the room, nothing was, there was no banners that say happy birthday, or nobody's name that they were celebrating, somebody's name. It just wasn't the type of birthday party that I've been to, where when I go to parties, there's a banner, there's a cake, there's decoration, there's people standing around cheering, or surprise when you walk through the door, or whoever, it just didn't appear that they went over there for any other reason than to remove the threat. And they felt that, that she was considered a threat to them. And that's really sad that you can't level yourself up and get past it. And if you're suffering, anyone is suffering from low self-esteem, low confidence, if you're suffering from those things and you feel like your life is not progressing, there's therapy for that also. And I want to say this to people that's going to watch this video that may come over here and you're going through that. I don't know who you are. There is help for you as well to get help, because there are times that we feel our life may not be progressing, may not be going in the positive direction that we needed to go in. And there is help out there. There are help. There's, people, life coaches. There are people willing to help you succeed. There are mentors out there, they're willing to coach you, to help you, to lift you up, to build you up. And, so that you don't take matters in your hand in a negative way and take someone else's life, go to the extreme because you felt that you were less than or beneath someone else's that was being blessed and that was successful and rising up, to that level. And maybe all of these people hung out together for quite some time. And like the mother said, she only knew one that was supposed to be her good friend, that was supposed to take care of her, which let her down. And it let a lot of us down, even though we didn't know this. At least I didn't know this young woman personally, but it let a lot of us down, knowing that, you're supposed to have a friend that's really not your friend, someone that's supposed to be there with you, have your back, to protect you. That's what real friends do. And this man that was in the video, because it sounded like a man, failed her and let her down, including the family. They couldn't get a pulse when the emergency medical personnel showed up there. They couldn't get a pulse. And so, it's real suspicious, surrounding her death. And, it's really sad. And so, she had a broken neck and her spine in the back was cracked. She was bleeding brutally. Now, her hair business, she had a hair braiding business, like I said, that was out of Charlotte, North Carolina, if I didn't tell you exactly where she was from. Charlotte, North Carolina is where her business was. She was from North Carolina. And there were 6 other people involved. There were 6 friends that went over there. So it was quite a few people. And they said that the villa they were staying in, it was a luxury villa, the group had rented for a long weekend. And so there was supposed to be some plans of cooking, hiring a private chef. But none of that seemed to take place, at all. And the mother had received, frantic call, regarding, regarding her death. And just again, they were not truthful in it. But, they had said there was, they didn't believe it was any clear evidence that foul play played a role in her death. But, you know what? I pray, like I said, that the young woman gets, and her family gets, justice. But they did, like I said, fly her body back. And that was a week after her friends returned to the U.S. last Thursday. And a funeral for the young business is to be held over the weekend. And like the mother said, she won't answer. She knows it's not going to bring her daughter back. but she wants something done about it. Like she said, and she goes on to say her daughter had a heart of gold. She loved everybody, and pretty much everybody loved her. And so, with that being said, I want you to go and look up the GoFundMe. I don't actually have the GoFundMe, so but there is a GoFundMe out there if you want to contribute to the GoFundMe to help this family get, be able to take care of expenses, to get, help and justice that they are seeking for their daughter. And again, justice for Shanquella Robertson. Rest in peace, young lady. Your spirit will live on, I'm pretty sure, in the hearts and minds of people that loved you, that knew you, and for your family as well. God bless you all on today. Don't forget to like the videos. Please share this video. Please share it. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you all, and God bless you all.